like the slow night stuff. When my mom comes into town, what I'll do is I'll make a frittata before she comes into town, and then warm that and serve that. But while that's warming or while it's getting ready, I'll make another frittata and then have a conversation with my mom because she loves to cook anyways. So then we can eat as much of frittata A, because frittata B is going in the oven while we sit down to eat, and then it's ready to go. So that's another thing you can do. So have Brandon come over, have Anna come over, and then put them to work. I like it. Tell them I said so.
Okay.
Alright, this page says, in the left column, what you are currently eating. The middle column says switch to this, and then the column to the right explains why. So if you were doing a cold granola cereal, like something out of a box, we'd want to switch to the paleo cereal or even just have you eat nuts and seeds because there's less carbs and sugar and there's more healthy fats and protein. If you're really curious about breakfast cereals, on the Weston A. Price website, there's a study they did feeding animals cereal, feeding them nothing, and feeding them the box that the cereal came out of. So 3 different groups. The group that lived the longest was the box eating group. Okay, so if you're wondering whether or not I recommend cereal, just read that study. Okay. Next one, if you're doing a hot cereal, if you're doing an oatmeal type thing, we do have a hot version of the paleo cereal. I'm sending you home with it today. We have a soaked and sprouted oatmeal recipe that Alana can get all of you. It is super delicious, very easy to digest compared to your standard oatmeal.
I make it myself.
Yeah, it's good. And then you can also do paleo grits. I'm giving you that recipe also. Because you can use cauliflower to do all sorts of incredible stuff. Replace rice, pizza crust, grits, all that stuff. The reason that we want to do this is, again, less carbs, less sugar, more healthy fats, more protein, and when we soak our oatmeal, it's much easier to digest. Still has the benefit for helping with cholesterol, still has the benefit for keeping us regular, but it's easier on our bodies to get that benefit. That's why we soak it. The next one is what I grew up eating for breakfast. Nutri-Grain bars, Larbars, Clif bars, Nature's Valley granola bars, which were basically like incredibly addictive. When I was in first grade, a kid would show up at snack time with one of those things. He would almost get jumped. We went nuts for them. We switch over to standard processed bars. I passed one of them around, the different protein bars that were passed around. Or you can do your homemade nut and seed bars. One thing that I should mention with the homemade nut and seed bars, if you're around kiddos, if you have company coming into town, ask them what flavors they want in the nut and seed bar and then custom tailor it to them. My daughter really likes it when I take almond and cashew and pecan and cranberries and blend them up and make like a nut and seed bar kind of paste and freeze it, and she gets to teethe on it. She really likes it. It's really easy for me to do. It's inexpensive too. When we use the protein bars, we get a grain-free option in case you're trying to avoid grains. We have less carbs and sugar and more healthy fats and protein. If you're currently eating pancakes, French toast, or waffles and complaining about gaining weight, I can tell you one thing we could improve. Okay? We would switch to the paleo pumpkin pancakes. We would also do the coconut waffles. I'm giving you those recipes also. Grain-free, more fat, more protein, easy to digest. Really good stuff. If you're doing a fruit-only smoothie, there's a couple of ways to improve a fruit-only smoothie. You can do less fruit. You can do better fruit choices, so you can have your fruit choices tested. Are you a banana kind of person or a blueberry person nutritionally? They're very different. You can do more fat and you can do more protein, like the options I have lined up here. And we do this because we want less carbs and less sugar. We want more fiber. And one thing that happens, and I've heard this countless times, when we do less sugar in the smoothie, more protein, fat, and fiber, people say, I wasn't snacking as much when I did that. It can also be a really good thing. If you're currently only using egg whites or egg beaters, I recommend you consider switching to the whole egg or adding some of the egg yolks back in. We get more nutrients that way. There's a reason egg whites are white. There's not a lot to them. They're just protein. There's a reason you can see the difference between some egg yolks. Some are yellow. Some are so orange they're almost like they have a blue hue to them. Do we know what I'm talking about? Have you seen these? Okay. They're really good eggs too. They're delicious. That gets us more nutrients because the darker the color of the egg yolk, the more nutrient is in there. There's a mineral called cobalt. It's how your body gets B12, vitamin B12, so energy, brain function, nervous system function. The really dark egg yolks are really dark because cobalt is that color. It's that type of blue color. That's what darkens it. And it's easier to digest when you do the whole egg versus just like an egg beater.
How many whole eggs could a person be eating?
It really varies person to person. Activity level has a huge impact because I have some clients who are triathletes and they put down 20 eggs a week. They're doing great. They get blood work done all the time. Their cholesterol's super, their blood sugar's stable, all that stuff. I have clients who are less active or who just don't digest eggs well, and they're only on 1 or 2 eggs a week. Because I still want them to get those nutrients, but they can't handle the volume that some other people can handle. I do recommend eggs for everybody, it's just varying amounts.
So a dozen a week could be fine?
Could be.
Could be.
Yeah. It could also be not enough. Alright, the next one is fast food sandwiches. I used to work at Wild Toyota, and the problem with working at Wild Toyota is that McDonald's was down Highway 100 and Burger King was up Highway 100. It was way too convenient. Way too convenient. So we have an egg muffin recipe that you're getting, and you can also do crustless frittata. That's really easy to transport. You get a little Pyrex dish and a fork, you warm it up in the morning, you drive to work, you eat it at work if you need to even. We do this because, like I've said before, it's grain-free, it's less carbs, less sugar. The most important part is that we're using fresh food. You know what kind of eggs you're using, you know what kind of veggies you're using, you know what kind of seasonings are being used. It's not manufactured factory food that's just warmed up in a microwave at McDonald's. Next one, if you're doing low-fat or no-fat yogurt, we started to talk about this earlier. If you're doing fruit on the bottom yogurt or the honey pre-mixed in yogurt, I recommend you switch to just the plain yogurts. Under full-fat Greek, you can also write coconut milk yogurt. You can also write goat's milk yogurt. Those are also really great options. You can get them at Trader Joe's. You can get them at Outpost.
What about almond yogurt?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Have you seen that in stores?
Almond Dream, yeah. At Woodman's they have it.
At Woodman's. Perfect. Woodman's
They
has a
have
bunch of this stuff
Almond
too.
Dream Yogurt. They've had it at Outpost in Bayview.
Yeah. Excellent, thank you.
Dream?
Yeah, Almond
I
Dream.
believe it's Almond Dream. It's in a
It's
blue.
the company name.
Yeah, it's in a blue thing.
Yeah, thank you. We want to do that. Less carbs, less sugar, more healthy fats, and more protein. Is anybody picking up on a theme of how I switched these things over?
Mm-hmm.
Less carbs, more protein, more fat. Very good. If you're doing bagels with cream cheese, if you're doing toast muffins or Pop-Tarts. Does anybody in this room eat Pop-Tarts? Yeah, good. That was a good face. That's the face of grossed out that I saw. You want to switch to the apple with peanut butter because it's still sweet, especially with the kiddos getting these sweet breakfast things. If you give them an entire apple, there's enough sweetness in there usually to satiate that sweet tooth. And then the Morning Glory muffins, which are a lot like the egg muffins, but with more veggies in them. I'll get you that recipe too.
We have a blueberry oat mega that tastes like the blueberry Pop-Tarts, which is why I don't like them, but if kids like Pop-Tarts, there you go.
There you go. That could work really well. And look at the list for why we switched from Pop-Tarts and bagels with cream cheese. We can get grain-free, additive-free, more fat, more protein, less sugar, no food colors, no preservatives. It's a really good switch. All right, we got all sorts of recipes on these next pages.